Ta-da! Meet my propane heater. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, but it finally came yesterday, and I spent all of today working on the mount for it. It's not completely done yet, but I had to build a little section out from the wall here because it has to go straight up. And probably eventually it's going to get covered up by wall, and then the propane heater will go in front of it. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. This is the little viewing window where you'll see the flames for the fireplace. I say heater, but actually it's a fireplace. And it's made by this company called Dickinson. They make heaters for like marine stuff, sailboats. So it's super high quality. Everything is stainless steel. And I was thinking about doing a wood fire, a wood stove. But there were just too many problems with it. You know, it just seemed like a huge pain in the ass to have to chop wood every single day. And there are a lot of places where you can't use them. If you go to parks, they may say that you can't do it. And then if it's like cold, it's like, what are you going to do? So propane just seemed like a better option. My mom didn't want me to have a wood burning stove, you know, and I don't even know if a town would have let me do it in a suburb. So anyways, I think propane was the way to go. And it's kind of cool because it has, you can't see them, it's kind of like below the frame, but there's a little knob for gas, and then there's a little knob for fan. So you can adjust the temperature, and you can also, has like a built-in, you know, circulation system so you can get the air going around in the van. It's not operational yet, obviously. But there will also be a chimney up here that goes straight up. And I'm really happy with it because like everything just sort of worked out, you know, like I have this perfect space in between these two columns here. This is probably the coldest part of the van with the cargo window because it's like this big space that's just letting cold air in. But anyways, I think it looks really good, and I just want to get it up even though I can't use it yet. Actually the propane tank is on the way. I got that ordered too. It's supposed to come on the 24th. So I think, yeah, sometime in early January, I'm going to have this set up together, and we'll have a fireplace in the van, which would be cool. But anyways, yeah, the chimney will go straight out, and it hits just the right place. It's not like hitting a beam. So the draft will be excellent, you know, because it's just going straight up, no curves or anything like that. I think it looks cool. It fits perfectly in terms of the line, like where it is. It's exactly as tall as my top beam there, and then it kind of comes to here. That's where it's probably below the frame where you can see it. I guess you can sort of see it, but then it drops down a little bit lower. So I was thinking about maybe having my bed right around here, and this might keep my feet warm. But we'll see. I just wanted to get it up so I can kind of base everything else off of where I've got this. I think if if you're thinking about doing a van build and you're like totally overwhelmed by it, or you're in the middle of a van build, this is the way to go about it. You just do one thing at a time, like whatever you can, kind of like, it's sort of like putting a puzzle together, you know, like whatever piece you're certain about, you do that piece, and then you sort of reevaluate everything based on that piece, and then you don't get overwhelmed by trying to look at everything all at once. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. And there's a variety of reasons. Obviously, the stove, the fireplace was a big thing because I had been waiting for this for like a month and a half, 2 months, and I was starting to get really depressed because it was like every day I was just checking my bank account, you know, checking for whether my barefoot shoe sales were like I was getting paid for that, and a lot of companies have moved to paying me like quarterly, you know, so I just get this big lump sum like 4 times a year, which is, it's hard. You know, it's hard to stay motivated, it's hard to plan for things financially, etc. So I feel like a lot of my energy was just getting stuck behind not having the fireplace and not being able to move forward. And it's just been like so cold in the van, you know, it's 30s today and it's like wet cold. So I was definitely missing the heater, but I have my little electric space heater here, and it works pretty well. It heats you know, like a local area, like your feet, or your hands, or wherever you're working. But yeah, some other things that happened. I talked to my dad today, and we're trying to figure out whether I'm gonna go to visit my aunt and uncle again. I went for Thanksgiving, and you might have seen that vlog. I was talking about going raw carnivore and how that was a very interesting, strange situation at Thanksgiving. No one knew I was eating raw meat because I just like mixed it in with my food, and it's just like, yeah, another weird thing in the saga of weird things that have happened in my life. But anyways, I was talking to him and I said like, I'd love to go, but I need to make sure that I get the heating in, because I want to take my van so that I have some space. It was really nice actually last time I went because I could just like when I got overstimulated or exhausted from socializing as an introvert, I could just like go out to the van and chill. So I had a much better time at my aunt and uncle's than I usually do because normally what happens is that they're like watching football all day or people are talking or I'm just getting tired and there's nowhere to go. I mean, you can go on a walk, but like how many walks can you take per day? You know what I mean? So it was really nice, but it was very cold at night. It was too cold almost some nights to survive, even though I had a sleeping bag and multiple wool blankets and all that. But yeah, anyways, my dad got kind of upset with me because I told him that the propane tank was coming on the 24th and we were supposed to leave on the 27th. And, I'm just like, I will try my best to get this done so that I can take the van. But, I need the van. I can't go without the van because it's exhausting to me to not have a place to go to relax and to wind down and, do my introvert thing. And he just like doesn't understand. We've had this conversation so many times and I don't know, it like there are multiple things going on. One is that my dad is more of a people person than me, he has a large group of friends and he likes to go out for a drink and and play golf with his friends and that kind of thing. And for me, I'm just like sitting in my little cave making YouTube videos and when I go out for a hike, it's usually by myself and I'm by myself writing music or drawing or whatever else. And, I spend a small amount of time with people and that's really all that I can handle or that I want. So I don't know. It's weird to have someone like a parent who knows you or should know you so well, clearly doesn't understand you at all. Like doesn't understand your needs. So that's one part of it. And then the other weird thing that he said, like I was trying to explain to him how exhausting it is to me to be at a family gathering for a long period of time and have, no space of my own. And he was like describing, he was like, oh, I was like, I get grumpy and I get tired. And he's like, well, Uncle so-and-so gets grumpy and tired too. And it was like he was saying, oh, like everyone's just like communally miserable, so therefore you should be miserable too. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand this attitude. I mean, if like when I see someone who needs something, even if I don't agree with it, like I understand that and just naturally want to support that person's needs, I don't try to like tell them that they don't need what they say that they need. So it was yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I hate feeling like this like lack of connection with people that I should be really close with. But I feel like I coped with it better than normal because I'm really getting my diet dialed in. I'm doing, like I said, this like raw carnivore thing. And I've gotten like the fat and protein ratio worked out where I feel like I have a lot of energy, I think it's like 8:30 or something and I'm still buzzing. I'm like, let's make a vlog. Let's go, baby. I could probably work all night if I had to. But anyways, another thing, actually there are a couple of things that are helping beyond just like having a little bit more fat in terms of the ratio. But the other two things that are helping are, one is raw honey. So I mentioned before that I was eating raw honey, but I just went to Whole Foods and I bought like the first raw honey that I saw, and it was good, but it mostly just tasted like honey and had kind of this like clear consistency, and there was nothing else in there. And I don't think that it was actually raw because I went back to Whole Foods and I was gonna try another honey because I had plowed through the first jar. And I bought this brand called Really Raw Honey, and this stuff is the freaking bomb. It is the best honey that I have ever had. And it makes me think that all of the other honeys that I've had, even the honeys that were labeled raw, were not actually raw. And there are a number of reasons for this. So the first reason is that the taste is just so much richer. It tastes like almost like caramel, and you can just taste little tinges of like the flowers, like whatever the bees have been pollinating on. and also contains pollen, which is another thing that adds flavor. And it just you could just tell that it was like super rich in enzymes because you could actually see little bubbles on the top. You know how like with sauerkraut or sourdough, you see those little bubbles, and you can tell that there's a ton of enzyme, activity going on. But then there's also little chunks of the honeycomb, which is delicious as well. And yeah, I remember a few people in the comments mentioning really raw honey, and they're like, yeah, this stuff's the best. And it is hands down the best. There's like no competition. So I feel like that's really been helping in terms of enzymes. I'm really not eating that much fruit right now. I'm trying to keep things as minimal as possible, mostly just meat, organs, some bison fat, little bit of baby lettuce, lemon, and then kind of like a tablespoon or a little less than that of raw honey, and it's working really well. But then the other thing that I added is butter, and I've said before that I'm allergic to dairy, and it turns out that I don't think I am. I think I'm just allergic to lactose. Um, and because when I have yogurt or uh, any kind of other stuff like milk or cheese also sets me off. And I'll just start sneezing like immediately. And then the next day I'll be like, my nose will be running, I'll be super stuffed up. But with butter, it doesn't seem to affect me at all. And I don't know how I haven't like sort of isolated and tested this before. But basically, what happened is that my mom made these coconut cookies with a little bit of butter in there. Actually, a lot of butter, but nothing else that I normally wouldn't eat, right? So she offered me one, and I've been trying to keep my diet simple, but I'm like, all right, it's the holidays, and I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I had one, and I was like, oh, there's something in there. You ever get that feeling where you eat a food and then you just want to eat like 10 of it? Because not only does it like taste good, but there's something in there that you have been desperately missing, and that was the experience that I had. I went through and I ate like five of them, And at first I thought maybe it's just the sugar craving, right? But then the next day I thought, well, I'll experiment with it. So we had some grass-fed organic butter, and it is pasteurized. It wasn't raw, so I was interested to see what would happen. But I put a tablespoon of it in with my salad bowl, and it made it taste a lot better. I mean, I just seemed to be craving fat, like high quality fat. And then I did it the next meal, and then the next meal, and then the next meal, and no allergies. My nose isn't running. I'm not getting stuffed up. I'm not getting sneezy. No sneezing at all. So I'm really happy about this because it sucks, when you have to go into a really extreme limited diet because you can't handle stuff. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to try to get some raw butter. There's a local like co-op. Well, it's not local. I guess it's a national organization or something, but it's called Udder Milk, and you can get like dairy products from local farmers, Amish farmers and stuff like that, and they deliver it to you. And it does suck because there's like a $40 delivery charge, so it's pretty expensive. But I'm just gonna try some bison butter and some goat butter and just see how they work for me. And if things keep improving like they are, then maybe it'll be worth it. But the other thing that butter seems to be really good for is just like keeping things flowing in my digestive system. I just felt like things were really slowing down when, especially in the beginning where I was having a ton of protein and not enough fat. So it just feels like now I'm more back to like the vegan thing of like clearing out my digestive system twice a day, which feels pretty natural to me, like once or twice a day, but not like going a full day and just feeling like everything is stuck. Some people in the carnivore community say you can go multiple days without, clearing out your digestive system. But I'm like, I don't know. It feels very uncomfortable to me. I don't like it, even if there's no like, I don't know, pain or whatever. It feels like I just want to get stuff out of my body. I don't want it sitting around there and like turning into toxic waste. But anyways, yeah, it's a pretty non-linear talk today, but I was excited. I feel like I have a lot of energy. You can tell, like I'm just freaking rambling nonstop. I have not stopped the camera once, So I know that can be a little bit annoying, but I'm just happy. I'm just happy that the energy is back. I'm happy that I've gotten past this block of the Fireplace, and then I'll be able to produce more van life content for you guys, which I've been really wanting to do. The next two projects with the van, number one is I need to build some storage up in the top. It doesn't have to be permanent, but I think I'm just going to build the shell of the cabinets that I want up there, because I'm not even going to show it, but you guys, the van is a freaking mess right now. There's just stuff everywhere. There's like lumber on the floor. There's like cabinets that I can't open because I've got plywood on. It's just too much stuff, you know? So anyways, I feel like having that storage up there will just like allow me to get all of this stuff off the floor and organized, so it's a lot easier to work in here, because that's another thing that's been holding me back from doing any serious work in here, other than it being cold. And then the second thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a giant 4-foot cage, industrial cage light, and I'm going to put it over my desk, like, you know, towards the back of the van over there. And that will create some better lighting in here for filmmaking. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just using a tiny little lamp over there, and the lighting is absolutely terrible in this video, which I'm sorry about that, but it will get better very soon, I promise. I found this really cool industrial cage light that it looks like it came from, I don't know, a sci-fi movie or something. You know, it's got the metal top, and then it's got the cage, and then it's got these long tube lights on it. So I feel like that will be great for lighting my e-ink monitor, and also just like filming in the van, stuff like that. But anyways, I think I'm all talked out. I hope you're staying warm and getting your vitamin D wherever you can get it, because it's been pretty gloomy where I am. I don't know. I hope you're living in California, but I know there are a lot of people that watch this channel that are in, you know, like England or parts of America that are gloomy. So anyways, I'm just trying to keep it positive, and I'll be back with more van life and barefoot videos soon. But thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.